Travel more and travel better with Aeroplan. Learn about all the program benefits at aircanada.com/Aeroplan.
It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. Mom's cooking chicken and collard greens, rice and stuffing macaroni and cheese, and Santa put gifts under Christmas trees. Decorate the house with lights at night.
We can let this whole track go if you want. I'm not mad at it. Welcome back to BT4 Wine on the Couch on this Tuesday morning. Great to see you. Devo, quick question off the front.
More for Devo.
No, this is...
Devo.
We're moving past the very personal, intimate details that we're unnecessarily asking Devo. Did you take an Uber to work today?
I did.
As usual?
Yeah.
Okay.
To and from each and every day.
Is an Uber important in your life?
It's extremely important in my life.
Okay. Well, again, it kind of was snuck in, but City Council in October voted 16-7 to freeze drive-sharing licenses in the city of Toronto. And Uber did not like that. So as we talked about most of the morning here, news came out yesterday. Uber is suing the city of Toronto, and they're going to Ontario Supreme Court because Uber does not like that. The environment are some of the reasons that Mayor Olivia Chow and her team have cited. Congestion as they try and go net zero at 2030 in the city of Toronto. Good luck with that. This is garnering a lot of responses here. Mayor, I'll go to you first. Is this a good thing or a bad thing that just happened here? Never mind the case going to the Supreme Court. We don't know how that's going to play out. But the action by City Council alone, your thoughts?
Well, there seems to be on the negative side a sort of limitation to work, which I don't like because people are doing their best to make a buck right now, and I think that is tricky when you're limiting your population's ability to make a living. On the flip side of it, I don't find it difficult to get an Uber. Like, I'm not in want of Ubers. There seems to be a lot of them. And the city is incredibly congested. And Ubers drive in a specific kind of way in this city. You can kind of tell before you see the sticker because they're looking for someone or they're dropping someone off. So it's a type of driver, too, that is causing a little bit more hiccups in the matrix of Toronto traffic because they're having to stop and pick up and pull over and all that stuff. So wow, I'm pulling Switzerland here. Right to work over right to not have traffic. I'm not in want of more Ubers right now. So I'm going to say from a personal standpoint, I think I see their point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, so they're saying that they want to cap it to what the amount of drivers that there were in October. I don't know what that number is. I'd love to know what that number is.
Seems like it's a lot of people, right?
Look, there's a lot of Ubers in the city. Again, that's my majority of transportation happens through ride sharing. And I rely on it a lot. And I want it to be super convenient, but selfishly, I want it to be there ready within like 2 or 3 minutes because that's kind of how I plan my schedule. Because that's how spoiled we are now having that. But back in the day, when there was taxis there, they limited licenses because you were getting that congestion. Because that's the other thing. I'm riding up in one car with one driver. And I'm in a lane and a lane and lane of traffic, which looks exactly the same. There's ways to limit that, and we can, sure, but that's not the perfect world that we live in. So I need to know what those numbers are, and maybe during certain time periods, you adjust those numbers of vehicles that are allowed. You know what I mean? Like, if it's rush hour, maybe it's limited, or maybe it's more, whatever we need to do based on the studies that someone way smarter than me would do. But we rely on it now. People rely on it for groceries. People rely on it to get their meals, to get wherever they need to for work, for transportation, because our infrastructure for transit in this city still kind of sucks, right? So, but I would like to see it increase if possible, and I know it's not lucrative for all the drivers, but in more remote areas.
That would be
people
nice.
would be trying to get food and groceries and things like that might not have the option to as much. So, again, that's not a real answer of what I would do in this situation, but I know there's been limited licenses for taxis in the past, so can you operate it in the same way?
Tammy?
You talk about the studies too. In the city of Toronto, one of their arguments is you can pause the licenses for now, freeze them. They do want to do a study by the end of 2024, something that'll be complete by the end of next year, to see whether or not it is something that they should indeed unfreeze or increase, decrease, whatever it may be. It's just that in that year, there are so many people I know personally who are coming up on hard times and they decide, you know what, I think I'm going to sign up as an Uber driver, whether it's for the passenger pickups or food delivery, whatever it is, just so that they can make an extra dollar. But another argument by Mayor Chow is that the increase in this large amount of drivers means that each individual driver is only making a little bit of money. So there's so many. This is complicated. There are so many sides to it. But yeah, it's a tough one, guys. See, when you think about it, I want to go on one side or the other.
When you start talking about it, you start to see all the different sides.
Because you want people to be able to earn a living.
Yeah, you want right to work.
Tough for a lot of people, right? But you need to, again, like that convenience that we have to go place to place is being slowed down by all these extra cars that are on the road that we are still trying to use.
But this is big precedent that's about to be set here between the city and businesses, right?
Sure.
Like Mayor Chow can do this with, if this goes Toronto's way, look out. Because now you're going to have, she's going to have a lot of space to do a lot of things with a lot of companies if you're going to put the environment first and foremost, which a lot of people are. I have to say, though, it is pretty obvious where Mayor Chow's stance was right off the front when it came to cars in this city. Took a bike to her inauguration, essentially, her swearing in. We know her history. We know where she lies on this issue. You cannot expect this city to just become a bike city when it's been mismanaged to this extent for this long when it comes to traffic, when it comes to construction, when it comes to half-ass transit that is still attempting to be completed on the Eglinton LRT, among the other areas that are needed in this city. I applaud the thought, but I get frustrated when thought and reality do not mesh at some level. This is not realistic. And people need ways to get around this city. And Uber and other ride-sharing places, at the minimum, give you another option. So to think that's just going to shut down, someone needs to explain to me then where people go. Because this city has not been put together in any type of proper or logical way. We can get out of it. It's going to take 50 years. We can get out of it. But that's not the world we live in. Try driving anywhere in the city right now. Try doing anything in the city right now. Try taking transit anywhere in the city right now, safely. Taking transit safely in the city is a dicey proposition. So I think taking away an avenue from people is a mistake. I think it's short-sighted, and it was rushed into. We know why this mayor rushed into it, had basically zero public consultation on this. And there's a part of me that wants Uber to win this in the courts. I'll be honest with you, because I think people need choices. The city's not put together. It's like a disjointed Lego set that you don't know where anything really should go, but people need a choice. Anyway, just my opinion. I'm not the Ontario Supreme Court. We'll see where that falls. Let us know. Feedback at Breakfast Television. Do we need more or less Ubers or ride shares in general in this city? Tammy's got news coming up. Also coming up later on BT, we've got homemade Christmas food gifts to show you how much you care this holiday season. Num nums. More BT coming up.